Welcome to Unraveling the Brain. I'm your host, Dr. Josh Mattson. Today, we get a chance to talk with some awesome parents of a little girl that came here, and she has something called Dravet Syndrome, where she has seizure activity, developmental delays, low muscle tone, lack of coordination, and gross motor development. And they're here to share their experience with Infinity and what's changed and how fast their child has changed and how well that she does in an environment that's designed to stimulate the brain, even with a genetic disorder like this. I'm really excited to share their story. They're really excited to share it as well. So let's jump into it. So Logan's back for her second intensive. She's honestly one of my favorite patients I get to work with because she's awesome. But what's the biggest things that you guys have noticed difference, changes in? Kind of maybe give a little background to your story so it can be relatable to other people that are in the same, might be in the same scenario, need a little bit of hope, and give us a rundown of your experiences and her history a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like initially when we first came to you, we were just getting out of the house of mold.
We found out about mold from them.
Yeah, we came
You
out.
guys saved us.
Yeah, truly. And we got here and she was instantly better. And I think that was a lot because we got out of the mold. We were in, a new spot and she was doing new activities she's never done before.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the start of something that we saw here that was like very revolutionary, to where we realized if we continued down that path, it would get better and better and better, which is why we're here the second time. And I think the first thing we saw, I'm pretty sure, like, her inflammation was very present in
You
everything.
could see it. She would just get, like, her whole face would break out in a redness. And that was the first thing when we were here last time. It disappeared by, like, second or third day. Like,
Yeah.
it started decreasing, and that was huge for us because, like, nobody could give us answers of why that was happening. I mean, kind of like backing up, we didn't even know, like, she has a seizure disorder, so she has Dravet syndrome. And, like, the thing that was hard for us as parents at first, I think, was that, like, the hope was, like, really small that we were given of, like, what she could achieve. And, like, it was like, if she's not progressing and if there's regressions, that's just what it is. And, like, that's just Dravet, move on. And then we did see things slowing with her. And when we came here, it's like she, like, woke back up. And then to me, I just feel like it's kind of a disservice the medical community gives to some of these children with these, like, genetic conditions, because they don't give hope that you can improve. It's like, if it slows, that's just what it is, and it's not looking deeper. So, like, we did countless hours of physical therapy and occupational therapy, and we started speech with her, and we just didn't see progress with those. And I think what was missing was, like, those primitive reflexes, because when we got here the first time, she had them all.
Yeah.
She had every single one. And by the time we left, there was just the one that was age appropriately supposed to be there. And we had a couple return that we worked on this time, but I mean, it was just so quick this time to respond, which was really cool to see.
Well,
That's the coolest
the
part.
first time also, like, her, like, inflammation would spike up so aggressively that within 15 minutes we'd have to take a break, take a break, take a break. This second time around, it doesn't happen as much.
You can
Like,
handle a lot
she handles a
more.
lot more. Her stamina went way up,
Yeah.
absolutely tremendously up. And so we think if we continue this path and continue to do this stuff, we hit each level of the triangle that you guys, talk
Yeah.
about. It's just another step in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. And with any genetic disorder, like for pretty much all of those, they have mitochondrial dysfunctions, they have energy production issues, those you see over and over again. And that's why, like, that first part of our pyramid is so vital, just getting energy to the brain. And
Yep.
when you do that, then all these other systems can start clicking into place, and it's really cool to see
Even
what
since we've been
changes.
up here, she's gone up slides, she's walked up things she's never done, she's climbed up rock walls. Like, she's really, really physically active.
Playing.
Yeah.
I saw her
Touchdown.
I saw her the other day, like, her little calf, like, popped out because
Yeah.
we were doing the what's
We
MFIT?
didn't
Enfield.
know she had
Enfield.
muscles there.
And we saw her little calf pop out, and she was, like, walking and jumping and doing all these sorts of things. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, yeah, and that was pretty interesting of, like, just starting to use the M field to start activating and firing up all those muscles. And, like, I mean, we had to turn the thing pretty much on full
Yeah.
blast to get any contraction at all, and now it's just every day it gets a little bit less,
It
a
was
little
at
bit less,
36 this
and
morning.
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, and then, as we get less and less, that means she's getting more volitional control of those
Yep.
and more activity back to her brain, and now she can actually use those muscles, and that's
Yep.
why we're starting to see more of that physical activity. And in long term, I mean, I just think of, like, what the difference is gonna be in brain function as she just goes and plays now. She
Yeah.
activates the brain at a so much higher level because she has more muscles getting fired.
every time I'm here, I just always think about like all of the stories I see with children with what she has, and it's so sad to me to see like how many children are just kind of being left behind to just continue on this route of just regressions and everything. And it's not the parents' fault. It's just the information I feel like is not like widely out there, or like it's just left out. And even down to like digestion. I know we've talked about this so many times with Logan, with how just wrecked her digestion got with mold, but the digestion affects everything, because like medications right now are an inevitable thing for Logan, but she wasn't even processing the medication. So like if her body's not processing food, it's not processing medication. And so then the medication's not even doing what it's supposed to
designed to
do.
do.
And there's just so many areas where I feel like this has like just opened our eyes to um, so many avenues we can do more.
Yeah.
And I'm like fully convinced at this point that Dravet syndrome is what it is, and the challenges are as severe as they are because so much of this stuff is missed and just unseen by doctors.
So many of the toxic stresses or the
Well, and then
energy
just
production
adding more
issues or
medication because
the
you're not digesting, it's just gonna make you worse because the medications are not good.
Yeah.
Well,
So
their answer is increase medication. Your answer is what is the root cause causing that issue?
yeah, why is the gut not working?
And that's a
why is it not
huge
working? Yeah.
that's a huge win right there, just alone,
Yeah.
because now you're focusing on the root cause. You fix that, and we've seen it real time, live and months after.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mind blowing and
Yeah.
sad.
It is.
It makes
It
me
is.
sad.
And the thing is, it's not just like obviously this condition or any other genetic condition. It's sadly it's pretty much all diagnoses of
Yep.
like, oh well, yeah, they have this diagnosis. Here's this medication or here's this route, which those things are vital for so many kids and needed. But it's like, well, what are other things? Like, what
Yep.
else can we look at? What else can we dive into? What are some other testing we can do to get a more in-depth picture of what's going on? And just from that funk med side, but then on the rehab side of like what needs to be worked on, you know?
Yep.
If a parent with has a child with Dravet syndrome is seeing this, what's the top 3 things you want them to know out of your guys' experiences?
Um, I that's such a good question.
That's a very good
It makes
question.
my head spin. I think to not accept that Dravet is what it is. That's my biggest, and it might overcompensate like everything else that I would think of, is that if a doctor is saying to you that you see something consistently happening with your child, and a doctor says to you, that's just Dravet syndrome, like run the other direction, or just like search out as much as you possibly can, because this is a challenging disorder. I'm never going to discount that. And like the ways that you can possibly handle it are like numerous, but it, like just to brush off like consistent challenges that you're having with your kid is Dravet is what it is, like behavioral or um, digestive. I mean, God, Logan had chronic diarrhea.
Mhm.
Not a great
Yeah.
topic, but chronic diarrhea for 8 or 9 months. And I think I was just wearing out our online portal. I was like, this isn't normal. This isn't normal. Like, what are we needing to do? What can I give her? What can help her? And it was just brushed off as Dravet syndrome kids don't like to eat, and Dravet syndrome has bad digestion, and also keto. And we were given that keto was the root cause of her digestive issues. And then we run that test with you guys, and it's mold, it's mycotoxins, it's candida, it's all these things. And it's just like, so if you're brushed off, that's my biggest thing. If you're brushed off, that's just a huge sign that something's being missed, I think.
And so our ChatGPT, our poop GTP,
Should we
came-
talk about that?
Oh my gosh.
came into
that's
clutch.
great next business venture for you.
Yeah.
But that actually legitimately, like this week, we've seen such an increase. Like this morning, I was using it,
Yeah.
and we were just feeding it information, and it was showing us like for the first time with everything we're doing here, plus a few supplementations, like it's finally working. Like,
Yeah.
and she is the best she's been the last 2 days ever.
I don't want to leave Iowa.
Directly in
You
line.
guys can stay.
I just want to be like in this like Iowa bubble. I feel like when we're here, like we were even talking about like even when we're here just with like your staff, it's amazing. Like I feel like I get to breathe for a second when we're here because she's so good when she's here, and she's doing things that like so see at home I would be like that tightness in my chest would be there, and I'd be like, oh my God, she can't do this. But then here it's like she just can do it. I don't know what it is, but it's like this like Infinity effect.
Man, hey, there you go. That's a good word for
Well,
it.
so both times December, obviously we were in the mold, but like we were contemplating coming up here.
We almost
And
didn't come
we
both
almost
times.
didn't come. And when we got up here, way better.
Yeah.
Instantly. Like the day one. And then the second time, this past or 2 Tuesdays ago, I asked Erin, I was like, should we come up here? Like I not that we don't want to, but like she's doing so bad. And she
We
got
just weren't sure we could even make the
and
trip.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen her the last 2 days like do as much as she's ever done.
Yep. You know, sometimes it's as simple as like good input in equals good input out. If she's
Yep.
getting more and more information into her brain, now her brain can function better, adapt more appropriately in everyday life, and just function better.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been an incredible transformation. Like we see it real time. We saw it the first time months after as well, and it just consistently shows in a positive light.
Yeah. So when you guys moving to Iowa?
We've talked about it.
Don't-
Our parents
don't-
might get mad.
We will literally get disowned. It can't happen. We just moved the entire family to Texas.
The whole
so
the whole family moved to
the whole
Texas,
family.
but hey, we
Yeah.
love Milwaukee.
It's a good
It's
spot.
amazing though. Like I truly believe that there's a lot of people that have been put into our life to help Logan, and I just randomly came across you guys on Instagram when things were just at their absolute lowest for us.
Yep.
I think the mold had just spiked. She was just doing awful, and I came across your Instagram page, and I remember for a couple months after that, I did the courses, and I kept telling Brennan, I'm like, we need to go to Iowa, and he's like, let's do it. But she was at such a bad state, we just kept feeling like we couldn't get up here, and then finally it was just so bad.
Yeah.
And like I don't want other parents to get to the point where they're like us, where it's just so bad. Like
Yeah.
I feel like if we come earlier, like we'd just be in a better position now, and I already feel like we're so good, so it's like just it's a gut feeling,
it's very
right? Like I should have
preventable.
come. I should have come right then.
Yeah, but you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what to expect, and
Yeah.
that type of thing. But one last question I have for you guys is: you guys have worked with so many different people on our team, whether it's from the functional medicine side through multiple different people on the rehab side. Maybe give parents like just an understanding of like your experience with our staff and our team, and
Mhm.
and just we have a lot of different professionals here that do a lot of different things, and just because like I've got the great pleasure this last couple weeks of getting to work with her a little bit, but overall, like I'm not working with her through this whole process. I've seen her quite little in comparison to a lot of other people, but just giving them like an understanding of, even though they're not, they see me on social media, but even though they're not seeing me, like the level of that you guys
The
have seen.
the first thing I noticed, because I run my own business, so I look for the business side of things. And the first time I remember we asked for something in the back, like with one of your guys' staff. I think it was Alex or Ryan at the time. And I went to the front desk to like relay the same message, and it was already relayed to the front. And it was like that handoff has been so smooth in every single time.
I feel like every single
And
person here knows her, even ones we haven't worked with, which was just so. Like the other day, we were sitting out in your front lobby, and someone that just works in your office came up and was like, "Hi, Logan, how are you today?" And Logan's like, "How they know me?" I just started cracking up laughing. I was like, "How they know me? I don't know."
there's a lot of like just like fluidity throughout the whole entire, like everybody knows kind of all the children. Everybody knows like what the
Family.
background, and it's good to see like that handoff is so smooth, and it doesn't feel like you're talking to a new doctor, which is something we
Yeah.
struggle with in the medical field.
Yeah, for sure. And we do morning meetings before everything, and like catch everyone up, or if someone's gonna work with someone, we do a lot of those types of things. So
I
Yeah.
will say though, so the first time around we worked with mostly Ryan and
Yep.
Alex, who just were both wonderful. And then this time around, it has been a bunch of different providers, and which I thought at first, like I was a little bit hesitant. I was like, oh, like Logan's so specific. Like, is she gonna respond to everyone? And for me, it was so wonderful to see, one, she responded to everyone. She picked up right away when someone new came up and got her, because they're just so approachable. And then I've loved that everyone kind of does have a little bit of a different approach and everything. So I feel like we've gotten like a full scope of like everything you can possibly get this time, which has been really nice. And like, we're back there because, we have to be watching her so closely. And I've been like picking everybody's brain, like trying to get little bits of information. And everybody does have different expertise and information. It's been really great that it's like holistic, but also like different. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's
for
been
sure.
really nice. So was talking to actually Alex yesterday about that. Like I've actually really enjoyed getting to know more of the staff this time and having more of them work with her. And I think it's good for kids. I think that that's an adaptability thing that
Sure.
helps. It actually
100%.
helps her grow as a person.
Yep.
So that's been great for us this time.
100%. I mean, I tell parents this all the time. If I didn't have the staff that I did and like the different backgrounds that I mean, like the ones that I mean, kids would be doing the most boring therapy ever.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
was, like when I was doing all of it, I was like I wasn't that fun. I wasn't that exciting, but like we have an awesome staff that can bring in just so many fun things to make therapy feel really fun.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh,
learned
she
something
asked to
new
come
every
here.
single time I talk to somebody here. Like
Yeah.
every provider is a different spin, but still the same ultimate outcome, which
Same
is,
philosophy.
yeah,
which
it's
is-
success. It's how do we work through this, but
Yeah.
it's very encouraging.
Yeah, and
I-
they get to have it's cool because like they get to bring in insights that I would have never seen,
Yeah.
like which is awesome. Yeah.
I also just love, I mean, like, every
That's how you
single
scale.
morning, every single morning she is just like, time to go to Iowa. She called this Iowa, by the way. We're in Iowa, so this is Iowa. But she's like, I'm in the middle of Iowa. Big car for
We got to the state of Iowa and she was like, "Can we go to Iowa?" I'm like, "We're here." That was the
So
state
this
line.
is Iowa. So you guys are an entire state.
Yeah.
But she looks forward to this every day.
Yeah.
That's
When
awesome.
we like go home, I think she's gonna be like a little bit depressed. She's like, where are we going?
Yeah, why can't I go back?
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
so
It's
funny.
been a really great experience. I was so excited to see. I was so nervous with how bad she was. Thank you. I was so nervous with how bad she was that we weren't really going to be making progress this time. And I can't believe that we're like, going up that triangle and
Yep.
seeing that progress. It's
It
like,
hypes me up every single day.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Jumping, joying, and playing life, climbing on slides. Woo!
She
Awesome.
flew down the slide yesterday.
We
Like
almost couldn't
flew
catch
down
ya.
the slide.
Good work, hun. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Definitely.
giving some hope to some people, and hopefully it gets out to a lot of little kids that we can help as well.
Absolutely. That's the goal.
Yeah.
We'll push it on budget, dog.
Ah, yes. Love it.
All right. Good job.